Oh, g'day guys, welcome back. Good to see you again. How are you getting? No nibbles here. How about we go and get an update on the Troopy, see how she's been going. Righto legends, welcome back to another episode. So firstly, I'd just like to thank all the subscribers that's jumped on board to watch our videos. We really appreciate your support. I really want to have a bit of a shout out to the guys that we've met on the road that have come up and seen us. So Jay, we met you at a Northern Queensland servo. Appreciate you coming up to us, dude. Sick Troopy. We met Vicky and Dutchy at Humpty Doo pub. Had a pint with those guys. Awesome. Nice to meet you guys, and thanks for coming up as well. Yobs, random story at a servo in the middle of the Pilbara. Comes up watching the video while we come up, like random as, and was stoked to see us, and we were stoked to meet him as well. So Yobs, hot lines brother. Ryan and Jackson, we've met you literally 2 minutes ago. Came up to us at the campsite here. Little legend making his own lures, come up for some help. So awesome dude, appreciate that, and good luck with the lures. And Kyle and his family at Exmouth camped alongside of us there and frothing the videos too. So nice to meet you guys, and thanks for jumping on board. Right guys, so we have been very quiet on the video front in regards to the Troopy. We've been doing our little vlogs and stuff like that, but we really haven't given you much feedback on how the Troopy's going. So what we might do, we'll give you a bit of a run through, let you know what is working, what isn't. Righto legends, so generally speaking, this is how our setup looks. So more often than not, we'll just set our car up, get it somewhat level. So we did pilfer these leveling ramps off the old fella with his caravan, and we've only recently done that. We've just been trying to get the car pretty level up until this point, but it does help. So, and I can just chuck them in the boat, which is really easy too. So so we've just got the back half of this car leveled up at the moment, so we're using them, getting the car level. But generally speaking, we'll just pop the roof, have that set up, and then basically every time we'll have the awning out. So which that involves jumping on the windy app, seeing which way the weather's going, making sure that we're putting the wind on the other side of the car so it doesn't tear the awning off. And also we'll deploy the poles more often than not. We'll put a couple of ropes out too, just to make sure that's nice and tight. But it is bloody strong, this thing, even with no ropes. Very impressed with the Bush Company awning.
Yeah, I think that's more for peace of mind, having the poles and ropes out.
Yeah, like we're seeing some people with the awning out on the beach, like this exact awning, and it's been windy as, and like you can see the whole car moving, and it's been nice and tight. So probably just been overcautious, but I just don't want the thing ripped off the car. That'd be very untidy. But yeah, so we don't have much really. Just got awning, pop the roof, couple of chairs, couple of stools, and then that's live and Barry. What I might do though guys, I'll just do a quick run around of the outside of the car and all the mechanical stuff, and any tips that I think would be handy, or any problems that we've had with the Troopy, and then Lyds can jump in, and then we'll go through the interior. But because my memory's like a goldfish, I might just I might walk around the car and hopefully things will prompt me, and I'll just chat as we're walking, I suppose. But on the back here, everything is hunky-dory, no issues. Happy with the table, had no problems with them. The OGS bags, I've had one strap break, and that's been temporarily replaced with a bit of fluorocarbon leader, which is doing the job. That's been like that for about 2 months. So yeah, I just have to check the crimps on these cords when they go in, make sure they're nice and tight, but no biggie. But other than that, all this stuff here has been really good. No issues with this back door bracket. It's been really good. Does hold a bit of dirt and stuff in behind there, but when I get home I might pull that apart and make sure it's all cleaned out properly. But yeah, that's all good. Doing this too, there's a lot of touch wooding going on because I don't want to jinx anything, but so far haven't had to deploy this big rig, which has been good. The electrical input's been awesome, solar input good. These gull-wing windows have been bloody brilliant, no issues at all with these. You might be able to see there, this is when we ran the pressure cleaner over the other day, so no water or dust ingress on these gull-wing windows, so they're bloody good. Well done, Shauno. The quick pitch ensuite, we've used it probably a dozen times, I'd say, on the whole trip. A lot of the times we are in parks, unfortunately, but the times that we have gone to use it, it's been good. The only downside is that one of the straps that you peg it down to is actually broken off, and to be fair, it was in like proper wind. So we're on the beach at South Lefroy, and I think just the constant flapping there has just tore that apart. So no biggie, we will get that sewed back up when we get home, but probably just out when it shouldn't have been out rather than a product issue. Oh, one problem, these two fillers here, that's like your fuel tanks, they empty out so quick. I really don't know what's going on there. I'll have to talk to Toyota, because it's just, you know, every single servo I'll see, I'm just in there pumping hundreds of dollars into them. But anyway, might be able to get that fixed under warranty. So I was editing the footage yesterday and realised that half the side of the car I missed. So, do it again today and add it back in for you. But the two things I wanted to talk about yesterday was tyres, which I did touch on a little bit, saying that I didn't need to use the spare. But these tyres so far, mate, they have been bloody brilliant. Like up and down, up, down, up, down. Hundreds and hundreds of Ks of corrugated roads, and touch wood, no problem. So really, really happy with the Wild Peaks. And the other thing that I didn't actually get done, which I wanted to, but procrastinated way too long and just did not, I think I just couldn't come up with a good idea to do it, so I just didn't do it. But the mud flaps, I really should have done something with the mud flaps, because the standard Toyota flaps, like they're pretty poxy and quite small, so the coverage of the wheel isn't very good, and like because of these corrugated roads, rocky roads and stuff, that's just been peppered heaps and heaps of stone chips, which you're going to expect. Obviously, you're travelling around Australia, you're going to get rocks flying around. But just all up the back of the car, flares, you can see the damage there, and all through there. Wouldn't have been eliminated, but it probably would have been reduced a little bit if we just got a bit of width on those flares and just suppress those rocks a little bit. So yeah, definitely wish I'd done that before I left. So coming around to the front of the car, one thing I wish that I did do, I wish that I made the effort to get the bonnet PPF'd. It does have a fair few chips on it. Obviously getting the bonnet resprayed is a costly exercise. So I really wish that I did do that, and I didn't. So if you are thinking of doing these longer trips like this, and you do have a newish vehicle, I'd probably suggest getting that done. This performing well, these sturdy as a rock, just on the driving lights, haven't used them the whole trip. I haven't driven in the dark the whole time, so I haven't needed them. Haven't needed the winch. And I have hit one kangaroo, but you wouldn't know. Solid as a rock. Those Troopy builders that are considering a Max Trax table, we use this thing every single day without doubt. Like first thing we deploy once we get to site, we put stuff on it. Things that you might need if you've been to Red Bluff. Not good. But it's also handy just to hang stuff off as well. Like, you know, we just got our bag hanging off there, but it's like our go-to table, eh? Like lights there, bang, cooker, everything. It's absolutely brilliant. So doesn't matter what brand you're looking at, but if you just are thinking about doing it, just do it, because it's definitely worth it. Two things on the maintenance side of the car that you definitely need to not overlook, and that is the servicing of it. So I kind of estimated the service times when I think that I would have needed to get it done, and it came way faster than what I expected. And then when I needed to get it in, I couldn't get it in because it was at Darwin at the time, and it was flat out. They just had no technicians available. So I had to actually overrun K's by a bit to push it out to Broome. So I tried to book it in like a 3-week period, and I still couldn't get it in. So that's how busy they are. So try and book those services in well in advance. The other thing is, if you've got an insurance policy and you're on the road, definitely tick the windscreen box. So I got 2 cracks on that windscreen. Obviously when the first one happened, we went to check our insurance policy, no tick on the box. So definitely get that done if you're on the road. So obviously I didn't get it fixed straight away because of what happened, and I kind of expected it to happen again, and sure enough, within 2 weeks, another chip on the same windscreen. So lucky I didn't get it replaced, but so obviously I'm just going to push until I get home now. But if you have that option on your insurance policy, just make sure you do tick that, because just from experience, they break. Road trains, no good. Actually, just while I'm up the front of the vehicle, guys, the performance upgrade that I done that you guys probably would have watched, it was a game changer, and I'm so happy that I squeezed that in last minute, because it has definitely made the drivability of this car not only just towing the boat, but also when we're off-road, so really soft sand and stuff like that, you've just got that low end torque to be able to just keep moving. So that's been a definite must do for us. Righto legends, just a little bit on the electronics on the big rig, and we've been really happy with all of the electronics so far and how they've been working for us. So the functionality of all these keys and all of the circuits that we've programmed into it are really suitable for us and been working well. The only thing we had a little bit of an issue with, and it was a user error, was the way we set the parameters up for the charge. So I thought it was taking ages to charge, and it only really allow 15 amps to go in, and I persisted for a little while, and then I looked into it a bit further, and then I checked the settings were way out. So then obviously reprogrammed it, cranked that back up to around that 30 amp input, and now it charges the battery obviously way faster because it's got twice the amount of current going into it. But yeah, that was one that confused me for a bit. Fair to see, not a lecker. But if we come off grid with this, obviously up in the territory and all that sort of stuff and top WA, like we haven't seen rain since the Atherton Tablelands like 3 months ago. But so if we pull up off grid full battery, then we could probably run forever, like as it is now, with the solar blanket and the solar panels on top. So yeah, awesome. But if we have limited sun or something like that, or we don't get to a campsite with full battery, then it could be a bit sketchy, because it does pull down maybe like 40% battery like overnight, but you know, during the next day you can ramp that up pretty quick with full sunlight. But yeah, maybe 2 days off grid with no sunlight and no external charges. I'll hand you over to Lyds and she can go through the inside of the Troopy and how we're going with that.
Alright, welcome to the inside of our little home on wheels. You've seen it all before. So I'm just going to go through what we love, what we don't love, what we may have done differently in the inside. So the layout that Ben has designed has been awesome, and we're super happy with it. So obviously we've got a bench seat here to the left, little wardrobe and drawer system to the right with the fridge, and the electricals are all in here. Now this one does turn into a bed as well. These cushions come off, as you guys probably already know, and go down the aisle here to create that second bed if we need it, which we have used a couple of times, which has been awesome. So the things that we rarely use, like the toilet and the shower, they're tucked under this part of the bench, while things we need more often are easier to access at the front. So we rarely get inside this cupboard under here, but as I said, that's because the stuff that we rarely need is in there. Now the wardrobe system is working well. Now this was only designed within, I think, the day that Ben and I, well, Ben built it, I assisted. So 2 small felt boxes up here, then we've got 2 of the larger boxes here with clothes, and then 2 larger ones down there with a smaller one on top. So in total we've got 4 boxes each, 2 small, 2 large. Now of course we bought too many clothes. Everyone says the same thing, I swear, but we definitely bought too many clothes. So that bottom section could have been used for maybe like an overflow pantry section for your flour, oils, that type of thing, because as you can see, the aisle is currently home to our overflow pantry at the moment. So in hindsight, yes, we probably could have used that area a little more effectively and not bought as many clothes with us. But that's okay, we learn for next time. Now another thing to talk about is the fridge and the layout. So the layout facing out of the car so that we can access via the going window, has actually been awesome, and we still wouldn't change that. Ben has designed this whole thing that we can actually turn the fridge around if we needed to, if it was really bad weather. For example, for a few days, we could turn the fridge around and have it the other way. Thankfully, touch wood, we haven't needed that. As Ben has mentioned, the weather has been awesome. So we love the fact that it is facing out of the window. Makes it super easy when you go grocery shopping and you're unpacking the shopping. Basically, you don't need to get in the car. Even if you could get in the car, when the roof is down, there's no room in here. You're at this level trying to put things in the fridge, just not going to work. So when you're out there, open the going window and you can access the fridge and pack the fridge stuff away from the window, which is awesome. And we love the fact that, yeah, we can just do that in the Woolies car park and all the cold stuff is away. Even when we have set up camp, I think it's heaps better having the fridge facing out to the going window, even to grab, you know, another beer from there. You don't have to get into the car to get another drink, which is good. I think it would just be really annoying having to get in the car each time you needed another drink or anything for cooking. It's just easy access, and I think the combo of the going window and the fridge facing out works well. Now we also do have the solar screens as well in here. We've got these two windows, so one on each side. We have got the one on the larger of the back doors out there, as you can see. We've got the small dash one as well, just to help with glare and things. And then we do have the full windscreen one as well, which we do use quite often. Now when that full windscreen one is up as well, you've got so much privacy in here. We can get changed in here. It's only the driver and passenger side that we don't have with us, but we haven't needed them. And it's very, very private in here, as I said, so you can get changed and things when that full windscreen one is up, so they're definitely worth it. Now the next big thing in here, of course, is the Mulgo conversion. Now, as you may or may not know, this particular conversion was custom to our needs. So when we get back home from traveling, we are going to want this car to go back to a 5-seater, which Ben has planned with this modular system. This wardrobe will come out, and so will this half of the bench. So the fridge will be permanent and half of the bench seat is permanent. But those two bits there will come out for the seats to go back in. And because of height restrictions and what you legally need, they custom made this Mulgo conversion for us, which we love. We don't really have any complaints about it at all. Yes, the bed is obviously smaller than we're used to, but it's completely comfortable. We have a great night's sleep. I've got nothing bad to say really about it. I know some people struggle with, you know, pulling the roof down and packing up. I've got no issues. It literally takes us 10 minutes to pack up when we leave camp. I do all the inside stuff, so I'll do the roof, Ben will do the outside stuff and the boat, but I can manage quite easily doing the roof on my own as well. What else can I say about it? I love the 3 windows. I love having these down. Like for example, this afternoon I've got this one down because the sun's on the other side, so we're getting a nice breeze in here. But honestly, having these 3 down when you're asleep as well, when you wake up to the beach some days, is amazing. So we do have a 2 little hat racks that Ben has just popped on the roof here, which I think he actually just bought from eBay. But these are awesome. Our hats don't get squished, and we love them. We use them every single day. Good place to pop your Akubra. Also down the front, as you can see, our little embroidery patch collection is coming along well. So we've been trying to collect patches from most stops. There's more places that don't actually do patches than I thought. But you know, we'll keep collecting, and in certain places, you know, we've said, oh, don't you do patches? And they've gone, oh no, that's a really good idea. You're not the first person to ask. I think the patch collection option is catching on. I really like the idea. We put Velcro on the back of it. Because the whole roof is carpet, we they don't have to stay there. So, you know, if you're choosing to collect stickers, they're going to be there and that's where they're going to live. But with the patches, we can move those if we want. Now, the only other thing to touch on is obviously living out of a car is a little difficult at times. I'm a very tidy person who likes things in certain places, and you know, everything has its place. So, you know, when we pull up to camp, I've got my little routine. I get in here, you know, I put our wash stuff in a certain place, I hang our towels out, I set the inside up just like this. So it is at times quite difficult to keep everything tidy, but I think it's really important to keep things tidy in a small space like this. So, you know, I think I do pretty well in keeping it tidy. We try not to buy too much stuff. When we're grocery shopping, we're really aware and conscious of how much space we do and don't have. But to be honest, we are loving Troopy life, and I could definitely travel for another 6 months, to be fair. But you know, we'll see what happens. Another thing that I think everyone should have when they travel is not a broken fishing rod. Oh, that's something I wanted to say. Fishing rods. Ladies and gents, if your partner, wife, husband, better half is into fishing and you're going on holiday to go fishing, make sure they've got a rod tube. For the first 2 months, all of the rods were lined up on my lovely bench seat here, which occasionally ended up with hooks where they shouldn't be. So get a rod tube, please, before you leave. Make it nice and tidy. I take the rod tube out when we set up, but it will just sit along the bench seat when we're traveling. It's so much neater, so much tidier with all the rods where they should be. Yes, another thing that I think everyone should get, if you don't already have, is a map of Australia. This was a gift from a friend from work, which I absolutely love, and it is so cool getting to a new place and pinning where you are, or if you know, you can get stickers, you can get magnet ones, but I just think it's a really cool way of keeping track of where you are. And I don't know, you look at it some days and go, yeah, wow, we are literally the other side of the country. So yes, definitely get a map. That's really cool little, it's the only really decorative thing we have in here, but it's really cute. But yes, overall, Troopy life, love it, could carry on. Why don't we carry on? Because we need money. So we're aiming to be back home just before Christmas. I'm a nurse, so I've got to go back and work for Christmas in the hospital system, which I actually love, so I secretly can't wait to get back to work, but shh, don't tell Ben.
We hope you enjoyed the video, guys.
We hope it gave you a little bit of an insight to life on the road and life in the Troopy. Until next time,
Hookin!